Like, obviously, his priority would be like injury proofing himself, getting back in there, and like he very much wants to get back and have a run for sure.
So welcome back from peeing. So we were just talking about Conor McGregor's injury. The weird thing is that there's a loophole in USADA that allows you to get out of the testing pool. And get out of the testing pool, you can just juice up.
Yeah, most of the guys weren't even aware, apparently. Like, I think it was Anthony Smith who does the show with Bizbang. Yeah, he was like, I didn't even know you could fucking do that.
Seems weird. And you just need 6 months. Like, if someone had an injury, though, that's a very wise way to approach it, right? Like, what potentially would be good things that you would take if you had a broken bone and you wanted it to heal quicker?
HGH, peptides, androgens are very restorative of, like, they'll reinforce bone mineral density. Like, it's not just muscle tissue for anabolics too. Like, there's certain stuff that's going to stay in his system for a long time he could never use, but like on the bioidentical side, like anything that is pro like bone integrity, infrastructure enforcing, like he is going to be like, I would be highly incentivized if I was him and I knew I wasn't being tested.
Yes.
So I'd be pushing that vector hard if I was him.
If you took time off, so if it was you and you were a UFC fighter and you broke your leg and you found out about this, you saw a loophole. So you would take peptides, you would take growth. What are the things you were saying that you wouldn't take because they would stay in your system for too long?
Oh, like any synthetic androgen, like you would not be touching in general. Like anything that could be detected for, like, I don't know, DECA, like anything of that nature, I'm sure is not even on his radar. It would be more like bioidentical compounds. How
long does that stuff stay in your system?
Bioidenticals?
Like a DECA?
DECA can be like a year you get detection.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking nuts.
So him taking testosterone, but wouldn't that fuck with his endogenous production of testosterone then when he gets off of it?
Yeah, he could, but I'm saying the most logical thing would be the growth factor side of things. So that would be GH and then accompanying peptides like the BPCs, the TB500.
Yeah.
There's other peptides that are not even tested for that I'm sure he was probably already using. But yeah, like I imagine his main priority is injury proofing himself more so than getting like juicy as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also just recovering.
Yeah.
From that. You know, when your bones get snapped and it's a weight bearing bone. He says, I crushed the metatarsal bone in my foot 3 weeks before the Khabib fight and still made the walk. All injuries are not the same. You will see it all on Netflix. Oh, so he's doing a Netflix documentary? When a serious injury with a high percentage of never recovering occurs, it is just simply not the same. Yeah. Well, there is a high percentage of never truly recovering.
Yeah. No, there's like a few. Like I have a little list here. Like there's something called pentosan polysulfate. I'm sure he might be trying. BPC 157 you've heard of, and some like the thymosin beta. Like some of these are kind of like commonly known, would be expected, but I imagine it's very much from the acceleration of recovery, like you said, and then also just trying to make sure this shit never happens again. And he's actually confident going into the ring. And yeah, like for him, it's kind of a unique loophole for sure. And I don't know like how, if anyone else has vetted this strategy and like somehow they were encouraged not to or made it seem like it was not allowed, but it seems kind of odd that he, you know, was able to take himself out so perfectly and then is able to just enter back in. Like, this is not something that I think even other UFC fighters were aware of as like a possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And looks massive.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks well over 200 pounds right now.
Yeah. IGF-1 too, forgot to mention, would also be something that would make sense. But yeah, and there's other compounds, but I would think the growth factor side of things would make the most sense.
When a guy breaks a leg like that, how long is it before that thing is 100%?
Like, it seems like I would, as far as like injury recovery goes for something that significant, like I wouldn't know personally off the top of my head, but it seemed like there were certain individuals that took, like, I forget what Anthony Smith's injury was, but it was not as severe. And there was other individuals who had significant bone related injuries that took way fucking longer to come back.
Yeah, well, Anthony thought his leg was broken, but it turned out it wasn't.
Okay.
But it was some sort of a significant, I think it was a ligament injury or something like that, which is why it was so unstable that he thought it was cracked. Is that what's going on? What was Anthony Smith's injury?
Back from Paris, pain in the leg. This is saying he had a leg break.
I don't know. Maybe
see if it gets corrected.
Well, I cracked my shin skiing. It's called an insufficiency fracture.
Okay.
Is in the I had a meniscoscopy. I have some meniscus missing from the inside of my knee, and I crashed skiing, and I got a crack and I was like walking around. I was like, this fucking hurts, like in a weird way. I better get an MRI. And then I got it checked out, and the doctor's like, the top of your shin where it meets the cartilage is cracked.
Yeah.
And it healed. It took a couple months and it was gone, but it's like that. That was no big deal. Didn't have to get screws or a cast or anything. I just did normal stuff. I just didn't throw any kicks or anything. Reveals what caused leg break. He said just fucking shit luck, and so it is a leg break. Stepped on the foot, pulled back, and then dragged my body forward. I thought, but this is like right after the fight, correct?
Yeah, that thing I was just reading was like some other complications he had after he got surgery, or had some
What was that? Did he have like staph infection?
They thought he had
or
a clot or something.
Oh Jesus!
But I guess he didn't. He went to the doctor. They told him to go home.
So what was actually wrong with the leg?
Trying to find the date.
They're saying leg break.
This is November 3rd.
I felt like he didn't break his leg. I felt like he thought it was broken, but then Dana White said it wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Either or. It wasn't as significant as Connor's, where you snap both the tibia and the fibula.
Yeah.
Both of them, it was dangling there. I mean, he went into that fight with a fractured leg.
Yeah.
Like he had a stress fracture that was already there. Like they were looking at it. Headed for surgery after suffering broken ankle. Dana White admits error. Oh, so Dana had said that it wasn't broken, but it in fact was broken. I get it. Yeah, so he had to get his ankle repaired.
Jeez.
Which is bad, but not as bad. Getting the tibia and the fibula snap, and then you have to reestablish blood flow, and everything has to heal back up. And then also, you're fucking kicking knees and elbows and shit. And I mean, how confident is he going to be throwing that leg?